From a man standing at just 2 feet 9 inches tall who could shoulder press despite weighing less than a toddler, to a towering giant measuring 7 feet 2 inches who consumes 7,000 calories daily just to maintain his physique.
The reason I started this journey, I was very skinny. You have to imagine that at the age of 14, I was already 2 meters taller than any person my teachers.
Let's explore the most extraordinary bodybuilders the world has ever witnessed. These are athletes who shatter every expectation of what's possible in the Iron Game. Olivier Richters. When you think of bodybuilding, you probably imagine competitors of a certain stature, perhaps somewhere between 5'6" and 6 feet tall, where muscle mass appears maximally impressive against the frame. But what happens when you take that concept and stretch it to utterly absurd proportions? What happens when you have a man who quite literally towers over every single competitor, every judge, and practically every human being he encounters in his day-to-day existence? Enter Olivier Richters, a man whose very existence seems to defy the conventional wisdom of what a professional bodybuilder can be. Standing at an absolutely staggering 218.3 centimeters, that's 7 feet 2 inches of pure, unadulterated human being, Richters holds the distinguished honor of being certified by Guinness World Records in 2021 as the tallest professional male bodybuilder on the entire planet. But here's where the story gets truly fascinating. Richters wasn't always the mountain of muscle we see today. Born in 1989 in the Netherlands, the young Olivier actually struggled tremendously with being underweight.
The reason I started this journey, I was very skinny. You have to imagine that at the age of 14, I was already 2 meters taller than any person my teachers. So I was so skinny you could see my bones. I was wearing 2 t-shirts over each other to cover it, extra wide jeans to not see my skinny legs. That made me go to the gym.
Imagine this, at the age of 14, this boy was already standing at 2 meters tall, taller than his teachers, taller than virtually every adult he encountered. Yet he was so incredibly skinny that, as he himself describes it, you could quite literally see his bones protruding through his skin. The transformation that followed was nothing short of extraordinary. Over the course of approximately 8 years of dedicated training, Richters managed to pack on nearly 75 kilograms, that's approximately 165 pounds, of lean muscle mass onto his exceptionally tall frame. Today, he weighs in at approximately 160 kilograms, or roughly 353 pounds of solid muscle. What makes this accomplishment particularly remarkable is the biomechanical challenge it represents. Maintaining competitive muscle density at such extreme height is extraordinarily difficult because the longer limbs require substantially more muscle tissue to achieve the same visual impact. Richters has not only achieved this, but has done so while simultaneously building an acting career, appearing in Hollywood productions like Black Widow. He also founded the nutrition company Muscle Meat, which helps fuel his absolutely astronomical dietary requirements. While Olivier Richters dominates the male division with his extraordinary height, the female side of professional bodybuilding has its own towering champion who stands quite literally head and shoulders above the competition. Maria Wattel.
I'm Maria Wattel. I'm from the Netherlands, and I am the world's tallest professional female bodybuilder.
Maria Wattel, originally hailing from the Netherlands but now based in Canada, holds the distinguished Guinness World Record as the tallest professional female bodybuilder, verified on January 15, 2021. Standing at an impressive 182.7 centimeters, approximately 6 feet tall, Wattel presents a commanding presence on stage that is utterly unlike anything the judges typically encounter. In women's bodybuilding, where the average competitor tends to stand considerably shorter, her height provides an absolutely commanding stage presence that demands attention. What makes Wattel's achievement particularly noteworthy is her approach to competition. Rather than attempting to simply accumulate as much muscle mass as physically possible, which might overwhelm her proportions, she has instead focused meticulously on maintaining beautiful symmetry and proportion despite her statuesque frame. Her career in the IFBB Pro League demonstrates that tall women can absolutely excel in a sport that often seems to favor shorter statures for aesthetic balance. She exemplifies the principle that proper proportion and stage presence can triumph over conventional expectations about what a successful bodybuilder should look like. If there was ever a bodybuilder who embodied the philosophy that bigger is always better, Greg Kovac. Born in 1968 in Canada, Kovac represented something truly extraordinary in the world of professional bodybuilding, a man who combined exceptional height with absolutely unprecedented bulk to create what many consider the most massive physique ever to grace a bodybuilding stage. Standing at 193 centimeters, that's 6 feet 4 inches, and carrying well over 330 pounds of contest weight, Kovac was known throughout the bodybuilding world of the 1990s and 2000s as the quintessential mass monster. His physique was so extraordinarily large that it almost defied comprehension when seen in person.
But no, I eat usually around 10,000 calories a day.
How many chickens is that, mate?
It's quite a bit. I eat like maybe 12 chicken breasts a day. and 3 pounds of beef, lots of eggs.
6 chickens, mate, you're knocking off in a day.
What many people don't realize about Kovac is that he didn't originally set out to become a professional bodybuilder. He actually studied electronics engineering before his passion for weightlifting and his natural ability to build truly massive size redirected his life's trajectory entirely. His career included competing in prestigious events like the Arnold Classic, where he placed competitively against the best bodybuilders in the world. The rarity of Kovac lay in this unprecedented combination of extreme height with extreme bulk. Most tall bodybuilders struggle to fill out their frames adequately. Kovac seemed almost to overflow his. After retiring in 2005, he dedicated himself to coaching other athletes and running his own business. Tragically, Kovac passed away in 2013 at just 45 years of age, leaving behind a legacy as perhaps the heaviest tall bodybuilder the sport has ever seen. Then comes Lou Ferrigno. Born in 1951 in Brooklyn, New York, Ferrigno faced significant adversity from the very beginning of his life. A childhood ear infection resulted in substantial hearing loss, which made him a target for bullying and could have easily derailed his self-confidence permanently. Instead, young Lou turned to bodybuilding as a means of building both physical strength and personal confidence. Standing at an imposing 196 centimeters, 6 feet 5 inches, and competing at approximately 275 pounds, Ferrigno became one of the most recognizable bodybuilders of his generation. His competitive career spanned from 1971 to 1994, during which he captured multiple prestigious titles, including the IFBB Mr. America in 1973 and 2 consecutive IFBB Mr. Universe titles in 1973 and 1974.
What it comes down to is the passion for fitness. Like, I'm 57 years old, how much you like to work out and exercise and competing with yourself. That's the beauty, because that will keep you in the long run for many, many years, because we're here for a short time.
But it was his portrayal of the Hulk in the 1970s television series that catapulted Ferrigno into genuine stardom, and his appearance in the legendary documentary Pumping Iron in 1977 introduced him to audiences who might never have otherwise encountered professional bodybuilding. His height, combined with his hearing impairment, adds unique layers of rarity to his legacy, proving that physical challenges need not prevent extraordinary achievement. Now let's shift from the tallest to the shortest, from men who tower over crowds to individuals who prove that incredible physiques come in absolutely every size imaginable. Pratik Mohiti. Pratik Mohit from Maharashtra, India stands at just 102 centimeters, that's 3 feet 4 inches tall, yet his achievements in the world of competitive bodybuilding are nothing short of monumental. Born with a genetic condition that resulted in his short stature, Mohiti faced challenges that would have discouraged most people from even attempting athletic competition. Yet rather than allowing his condition to define his limitations, he chose to let it fuel his determination. He turned to bodybuilding for empowerment, beginning rigorous training that would eventually lead him to compete in over 40 events. In February 2021, Guinness World Records officially recognized Mohiti as the shortest competitive male bodybuilder on the planet. His achievements extend beyond mere recognition. He won the Raigad Bhushan Award in 2019 and has earned multiple medals throughout his competitive career. But perhaps his greatest achievement is the inspiration he provides to others with dwarfism, demonstrating that bodybuilding success depends far more on dedication and discipline than on inches or centimeters. If Pratik Mohite's story seems remarkable, the tale of Aditya Romeo Dev ventures into territory that seems almost impossible to believe. Aditya Romeo Dev. Born in 1983 in Punjab, India, with a form of dwarfism that resulted in extraordinarily small stature, Dev measured just 84 centimeters, merely 2 feet 9 inches tall, and weighed only 9 kilograms as an adult. To put that in perspective, that's approximately the weight of a typical 1-year-old child. Yet despite these seemingly insurmountable physical limitations, Dev became famous for his dancing abilities and his remarkable dedication to bodybuilding. He lifted what he could, small weights ranging from 1.5 to 4.5 kilogram dumbbells, and performed publicly, capturing international attention in 2006 when he held the Guinness record for the world's smallest bodybuilder. His story serves as perhaps the ultimate testament to the human spirit's ability to triumph over physical circumstances. Here was a man who, by every conventional measure, should not have been able to pursue bodybuilding at all. Yet he did so anyway, capturing hearts and inspiring millions around the world. Tragically, Dev passed away in 2012 at just 23 years of age due to health complications, but his legacy as one of the most remarkable athletes in bodybuilding history endures. Flavio Baccianini. When you step onto the stage at Mr. Olympia, the most prestigious bodybuilding competition in existence, you're standing alongside the absolute best physiques on earth. Pressure is immense, the competition fierce, and every competitor knows that the slightest imperfection will be ruthlessly exposed under the unforgiving stage lights. Now imagine doing all of that while standing at just 150 centimeters, 4 feet 11 inches tall. That was the reality for Italian bodybuilder Flavio Baccianini, who holds the distinction of being the shortest competitor ever to grace the Mr. Olympia stage. Debuting Debuting professionally in 1980, Boccianini's career spanned from the 1980s through the early 2000s, and he competed at Olympia from 1999 to 2003, weighing approximately 145 pounds on stage. Boccianini was refreshingly honest about the unique challenges his height presented. While shorter stature can sometimes provide advantages in terms of leverage during lifts, it also meant constantly fighting against the tendency of judges to literally look right over him. His achievements include winning the WABA World Championships in 1983 and placing in numerous professional events, a testament to the fact that tenacity and muscular density can overcome even significant height disadvantages in a sport obsessed with size. Chun Tan, standing at 147 centimeters, 4 feet 10 inches, due to X-linked spondylopiphyseal dysplasia tarda, a rare bone growth disorder. Chun Tan faced bullying and challenges throughout his childhood that left him feeling vulnerable and uncertain about his future.
I am 4 foot 6 inches. People pick on me and make me feel scared and vulnerable. I decided to make a change and I started working out. Now I'm the UK's shortest bodybuilder.
The condition affects approximately 1 in 150,000 people, making Tan's very existence statistically rare, and his achievements in bodybuilding even more so. He learned of his diagnosis around age 12 or 13 when his mother noticed he wasn't growing at the same rate as his peers. The subsequent years were difficult. He experienced depression, questioning what point there was to life when he felt so different from everyone around him. The turning point came when he left school and began college, a fresh start that coincided with his discovery of bodybuilding. In 2015, Tan was officially named the UK's shortest bodybuilder, and the sport has since opened doors for him into acting, performing, and entertainment, proving that bodybuilding can transform not just bodies, but entire life trajectories. Lee Priest, at 163 centimeters, 5 feet 4 inches tall, Lee Priest stands significantly shorter than most of his professional competitors. Yet what he lacks in height, he more than compensates for in muscular density, competitive fire, and sheer longevity in the sport. Born in 1972 in Australia, Priest began his bodybuilding journey at an extraordinarily young age, winning his first competition at just 13 years old and earning his IFBB Pro card at the age of 20. Known for his incredibly dense, tattooed physique and his outspoken personality, Priest became one of the most recognizable figures in professional bodybuilding. His achievements include winning the 1986 Sydney Bodybuilding Classic and the NABBA Mr. Universe overall title in 2013, along with multiple professional victories throughout the 1990s and 2000s.
I think, like I said, when I say you don't have to go heavy, I mean, you still need a decent amount of weight, but use a weight that you can actually control, contract the muscle, get that mind-muscle connection, because like I said, we all love to go heavy.
What makes Priest particularly notable is his remarkable career longevity. After a 7-year hiatus, he returned to competition in 2013, demonstrating that in bodybuilding, experience and refined technique can sometimes trump the advantages of youth and height. If there's one bodybuilder who absolutely demolishes every preconception about age and athletic ability, it's Jim Arrington. Born in 1932 in the United States, Arrington didn't just dabble in fitness as he grew older. He committed to it with the intensity of someone half his age. Now, over 90 years old, he holds the Guinness World Record as the oldest professional male bodybuilder on Earth. Arrington began lifting weights in 1947. That's over 70 years of continuous training. At the start, he didn't even have proper weights. He made do with household items, improvising his way to fitness. Today, he trains 3 times per week and continues to compete regularly, having participated in over 60 contests and won 16 shows throughout his incredible career. The simplicity of his approach, train, eat, sleep, belies the extraordinary discipline required to maintain it decade after decade. When asked about the secrets to his longevity, Arrington's answers are refreshingly straightforward. If Jim Arrington represents the pinnacle of male longevity in bodybuilding, then Ernestine Shepherd stands as his female counterpart, a woman who proves that it's never too late to transform your body and your life. Ernestine Shepherd. Born in 1936 in Baltimore, Maryland, Shepherd didn't even begin exercising until the age of 56, an age when many people have long since abandoned any thoughts of physical improvement. Her journey began in the most unexpected way. She and her sister were invited to a picnic where they were told they could wear bathing suits. When they looked at themselves, they were unhappy with how they looked and decided to start exercising together. Then tragedy struck. Her sister passed away from a brain aneurysm, leaving Shepherd devastated and experiencing panic attacks. Driven by her sister's memory, Shepherd transformed herself into a competitive bodybuilder. She holds Guinness World Record titles as the oldest competitive female bodybuilder, set in 2010 and 2011 when she was 75 years old. Now in her late 80s, she continues to inspire through her morning routine, waking at 2:30 a.m. and running approximately 10 miles every single day with a group of 4 other dedicated runners. Charles Eugster's story challenges perhaps the most fundamental assumption about bodybuilding, that you need to start young to achieve anything meaningful. Charles Eugster. Born in 1919 in Switzerland, Eugster spent his professional life as a dentist. He didn't begin bodybuilding until the age of 87, an age when most people have accepted that their physical capabilities are in irreversible decline. But Eugster refused to accept that narrative. His motivation was refreshingly honest: vanity. He didn't stop at bodybuilding. Eugster also excelled at rowing, winning over 40 gold medals in World Masters rowing competitions, and he became a competitive sprinter, setting world records in the 95-plus age category. He delivered a TEDx talk at age 93, spreading his philosophy about aging to audiences worldwide. His views on retirement were characteristically contrarian. Eugster passed away in 2017 at the age of 97, having accumulated over 100 fitness awards and having fundamentally changed how many people think about aging and physical potential. Then we have Raymond Moon. Raymond Moon of Australia represents yet another extraordinary example of age being merely a number in the world of competitive bodybuilding. Born around 1929, Moon continued competing well into his 80s despite battling serious health challenges, including bladder cancer. His determination to stay in the sport earned him Guinness recognition as the oldest bodybuilding competitor at age 84 in 2014. What sets Moon's story apart is the caliber of his training support. He was coached by a former Mr. Universe, ensuring that his training remained at an elite level even as he advanced in years. His career included competing in prestigious national events like the NABA International Championships, and he accumulated multiple Victorian and Australian titles throughout his remarkable competitive journey. In 2009, Moon was recognized as the oldest competitive bodybuilder in the world. He continued to compete and inspire until his passing in 2020 at the age of 90, leaving behind a legacy that demonstrates the remarkable resilience of the human body when properly trained and nourished. Edith Wilma Connor. Edith Wilma Connor, born in 1935 in the United States, took up bodybuilding later in life and proceeded to compete into her 90s, a feat that seems almost impossible when you consider the physical demands of stage preparation and competition. Her dedication to the sport earned her Guinness recognition as the oldest competitive female bodybuilder in 2012 at age 77. Connor's journey into competitive bodybuilding began in an unconventional way. She started fitness training with her youngest son. Her competition history includes entering her first bodybuilding competition, the Grandmasters in Las Vegas, on her 65th birthday, where she won first place. Beyond her competitive achievements, she worked as a certified personal trainer specializing in working with mature bodies. With all her clients being over 50, she passed traditions and knowledge to the next generation until her death in 2020, having spent decades proving that age creates no ceiling for physical achievement. Nick Scott. At age 16, Nick Scott's life changed forever when a car accident left him paralyzed from the waist down. For many, this would have spelled the end of any athletic aspirations. For Scott, it became the beginning of a remarkable journey that would see him become one of the most influential figures in adaptive athletics. After overcoming depression through fitness, Scott pioneered the concept of wheelchair bodybuilding, demonstrating that paralysis need not prevent the development of an impressive upper body physique. His achievements are nothing short of extraordinary. He won the 2011 NPC Wheelchair Nationals overall title and was ranked as the #1 wheelchair bodybuilder in 2014, but Scott didn't stop at bodybuilding. He also became a ballroom dancer, an activity that many able-bodied people find challenging, and has since participated in over 250 global events since 2006. His career as a motivational speaker and coach has inspired countless others to view their disabilities not as limitations, but as unique challenges to overcome. If Nick Scott pioneered wheelchair bodybuilding, then Woody Belfort is taking it to places no one thought possible. Woody Belfort. Born in 1998 in Quebec with cerebral palsy, Belfort has never let his wheelchair define his limitations. Active since childhood, playing wheelchair basketball from age 11, he has pushed the boundaries of what's possible in adaptive bodybuilding. What makes Belfort truly unique is his ability to incorporate acrobatic moves into his stage routines. We're talking about backflips performed from a wheelchair, a feat that seems to defy both physics and conventional expectations. He became Quebec's first professional wheelchair bodybuilder and competed in IFBB events in 2022. Beyond bodybuilding, Belfort pursues calisthenics and rock climbing, activities that might seem impossible for a wheelchair user, but which he approaches with characteristic determination. Mark Smith. Some people enter bodybuilding seeking personal transformation. Others, like Mark Smith, find it as a path to recovery from unimaginable trauma. A former Grenadier Guard in the British military, an injury that would end most athletic careers before they began. But Smith refused to accept that his competitive days were over. He turned to bodybuilding as a form of rehabilitation, discovering that the sport provided both physical recovery and psychological healing. His dedication paid off when he won a national disabled bodybuilding competition. Today, Smith's mission extends beyond personal competition. He aims to professionalize disabled bodybuilding categories and push for global recognition of adaptive athletes in the sport. His advocacy work is helping to create pathways for other disabled veterans and athletes to find the same healing and purpose that he discovered through competitive bodybuilding. Chris Rudin. Born with only one hand and later diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 19, Chris Rudin faced challenges that would have discouraged most people from pursuing athletics at any level, let alone competitive powerlifting. But Rudin transformed his adversities into his greatest strengths, using prosthetics in his training and building a career that has inspired millions. His achievements are remarkable by any standard. Rudin holds a world record as an adaptive powerlifter, totaling 1,450 pounds at 181 pounds body weight. He competed on the Titan Games with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and at the Arnold Sports Festival, he deadlifted 640 pounds in front of over 50,000 people as the only disabled athlete present. Beyond his athletic accomplishments, Rudin is an author, motivational speaker, and trainer, turning his experience with adversity into a platform for helping others overcome their own challenges. Caleb Mutombo. Caleb Mutombo's story begins in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where he was born with severe disabilities, including sickle cell disease, a genetic blood disorder affecting red blood cells that causes severe pain and fatigue. He came to South Africa at just 2 years old in search of medical assistance. Today, he stands at just 3 feet 7 inches and weighs under 40 kilograms. Mutombo discovered weightlifting at age 12 after finding limited options in other sports. His coach, Ryan Monte, believes he can achieve whatever he sets his mind to, noting that Mutombo pushes himself harder than anyone else in the gym. His dedication is paying off. He recently placed third in a competition and dreams of one day becoming a professional bodybuilder. Our final entry represents perhaps the most unique transformation in bodybuilding history. Janae Marie Kroc. Janae Marie Kroc, formerly known as Matt Krok-Zaleski, was one of the most dominant powerlifters in the sport's history before coming out as transgender. Her journey adds an entirely new dimension to our understanding of rarity in bodybuilding. Before transitioning, Kroc served in the United States Marine Corps, specifically in presidential security, and achieved extraordinary success in powerlifting, setting multiple world records. Her journey was documented in the film Transformer, which she participated in to help educate others and inspire transgender youth who might be struggling with their identity. Today, Kroc identifies as transgender, gender fluid, and non-binary, blazing a trail for others who might not fit neatly into conventional categories. From the tallest giants who consume thousands of calories just to maintain their frames, to the smallest competitors who prove that heart and determination matter more than inches, from senior citizens who refuse to let age define their capabilities, to wheelchair athletes who redefine what's possible in adaptive sports. These 20 bodybuilders represent the extraordinary diversity of human potential. If you found inspiration in these incredible stories, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that celebrates the exceptional in human achievement. And let us know in the comments which of these rare bodybuilders inspired you the most, and click on the card on screen for more.